I was able to become a full-time artist when I quit my job, right? It wasn't I became a full-time artist and then I was able to quit my job because I had enough money or something. It was very much like a dive into the deep end and like hope you swim.
Hello, everyone. I am Melissa Forziat of Take the Doughnut, here to help you get inspiration and get donuts. I'm a motivational keynote speaker, and today I'm bringing you a Take the Doughnut interview with Dom Laporte, who is a muralist and illustrator and a co-founder of DRIFT Mural Co, based in Ottawa, Canada. Welcome, Dom.
Thank you so much. Really appreciate it.
I'm so excited to talk with you. I had a chance to look through some of the work, the work you've shown on Instagram, and I'm just blown away and so excited to chat with you.
Thank you so much. Thanks so much. Yeah, please take it away.
Well, might as well get started with a not so serious question before we jump into anything more serious. What is your favorite donut?
My favorite donut. So I've thought about this a lot. This was a hard question, but I think the one I'm always looking for is a sour cream glaze. I'm like kind of boring, but I actually like just the old fashioned plain. I'm like 80 years old already. Yeah, like just the plain. It's like the best with coffee. That's like I think that's the one that I actually, if I'm being truthful, it's the one I like the most. Yeah.
Okay, I like it. You keep it simple, but sour cream glaze.
Yeah.
That's kind of an interesting take on it as well. I like that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I said just a little bit about you up front, but tell us more about yourself. What should we know about you?
I guess, yeah, like you said, I'm a muralist based in Ottawa, Canada. That's where I currently reside with my partner. That's where we started Drift. That's where I was born and raised. And yeah, I've been a muralist for 10 years. And currently I travel around quite a bit for my mural projects. I've been a full-time artist since 2017. So yeah, I'm always happy to kind of share what I found out about this pursuit, so far, with those who are just starting out. But I'm always learning, and yeah, I'm just like super grateful to be to be where I am right now.
I have to say, it sounds like a huge achievement to be able to say that you're a full-time artist. I don't know that every artist gets to that point. So congratulations.
Thank you so much. It's true.
Yeah.
It's a constant grind to keep being able to say that year after year. With COVID and everything, and obviously there's so much up and down with like the instability of the job. Is definitely like is the hardest part, the swings of it and whatnot. But yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, I said a bit about Take the Doughnut up front, but for those who haven't heard an interview with me before, let me reset this for people so that we all know what Take the Doughnut is about. So Take the Doughnut for me is an expression that's the same as Carpe Diem. It's all about going after the things that you want in life. It comes from this strange thing that happened to me when I was in college, where I left an actual donut on a table, but that became an object lesson for me in what it looks like to leave opportunities behind. So I don't want to do that anymore. I want to take the donut instead. I'll link a video here for those who haven't seen that origin story. But basically, this conversation is all about going after what you want, going after goals, and practically speaking, what that looks like. So for you, Dom, I have to ask this question to start us off. How are you with going after goals? What is that process like for you?
I'm pretty good at going after goals. It's definitely what I have to say, motivation has never really been an issue for me ever since I was a kid. I've known I've wanted to do this or be an artist or pursue art since I was like probably 5 or 6 years old. I've been like, since a really young kid, I've been really focused on that. And I've been fortunate to have people in my life that have helped me pursue that, and mentors and my parents and family, friends, and other artists around me. Um, but yeah, in terms of reaching my goals, I guess it's about committing your time. And I think committing as much time as you possibly can, and a lot of basically making that that deep dive into into what you may want to do or what you may want to pursue, you have to work around your job or your children or whatever it might be. But I think in terms of pursuing my goals, it was all about just putting in as much time as possible, 10,000 hours, all of those all of those tricks in the beginning. But I found that I've really gotten that time back. That time is showing its head in a positive in a positive light after a long time, right? After a long time of struggling to barely able, to make it and call myself a full-time artist. But yeah. Anyway, I don't know. That was a little bit of a tangent, but
No, it's so good to hear that you put the time in and you're seeing those results. So that leads me to a question. When you know that you're taking on a really big goal, a really big challenge, something that's going to take your 10,000 hours, and there's going to be maybe some days in there where it's a little harder to put those hours in. What keeps you
right.
motivated on those harder days?
I guess in all honesty, like if, especially with being a muralist and applying for a lot of projects, getting a project or like securing a project is such a great feeling. And, especially when you're going through a low moment and you're like, okay, I got this project, I'm good for another little while and I can keep striving to kind of build on that. So I guess in those low moments, you're just like, okay, like this isn't always how it's going to be. It's going to be low now, but it will pick up again. And kind of like the trusting in the process that it will get better, I guess. And I think that comes from just trying until something goes right. And once you have that thing that goes right that one time, that's enough to like link onto and have sort of that light at the end of the tunnel, so to speak. But yeah.
Yeah, that sounds like those moments of hope and those moments of confirmation that you're heading in a direction that's actually taking hold.
Yeah, exactly. And kind of trusting that those will come up again and not thinking that like, okay, I'm discouraged right now. This is going to last forever, but no feeling lasts forever. Knowing that I think is really helpful during those low moments.
Hmm. What a good point. And for those low moments, a lot of times when we go after things, we want challenges come up, obstacles come up. I'm
Mm-hmm.
curious for you if there's a particular brand of challenge that just always seems to come up for you that just keeps rearing its head, maybe an Achilles heel that you have.
Brand of challenge. And a challenge with myself more so, or like an external challenge.
Could be either,
Um,
could be either, but
yeah,
maybe something that you've noticed is a trend that comes up sort of regardless of what goal you're working towards.
I guess. Well, the main external challenge would just be my like competition. Basically, is all the other amazing artists that I'm competing against to get projects to. There are a ton of murals are so big in street art, and like the industry is actually growing at an exponential rate. But I guess like one of the biggest challenges is just trying to applying for a mural festival, and they get 2,000 applications or something. So I'm constantly going up against like incredible artists, and especially when I'm working on more of an international scale now, so I'm competing on an international scale. So there's artists from Europe and Asia and the United States and everywhere in between that are just like so amazing, and I'm constantly having to kind of raise my standards to get to a place where I'm still getting projects. But yeah, in terms of challenges with myself, I guess I'm good at staying focused, but I think, I do take on a lot of different projects at the same time and kind of, try to get a lot of things done. I do fine art, I do illustration. Murals are the main thing I do in the summer, but I guess I'm always trying to like, do work on a show and sketch, and I like to write as well. So there's a lot of I guess trying to make sure that I finish a project before I start another one is it might be one of those things. But
Great points, great points. And I imagine that that's part of that is that feast or famine experience that happens as an
yeah,
artist and
yeah,
in so many industries where it's like, I need to do everything that's coming my way right now. So I think we almost
it's
learn that behavior.
yeah, exactly. And to build on it, yeah, and that kind of reminds me that, just the saying, learning to say no as well. I think that's also a challenge. Like, thinking like when you are having a low point and some work does come in, you have to say yes to everything. I don't think that's necessarily a correct way to go. Finding your lane and your correct path, I think, is a huge deal. And I still struggle with that all the time. I'm definitely in no way, if a project isn't right for me, I'm like, well, I could use the money, sort of thing. That does happen. And I think that's important to know when to say no. But
Mm-hmm. Well said. So if you think back on your life, now you could answer this question from a personal or a professional standpoint. What would you say is the biggest donut you've ever taken? It could be something from long ago or something recently, but what's the biggest opportunity?
the biggest opportunity, it would probably be, well, I have to say biggest opportunity. Um, So I had a large project in the United States last year in Michigan. That was the biggest mural I'd done to date. So it was like 26 by 300 feet. Yeah, very huge piece. But I wouldn't have got that without getting accepted into a mural festival in BC, in Nelson, BC in 2022. After that project, I like really like work picked up a lot, and I got big projects and started going into the United States and started traveling a little more. And that's also on the wake of starting Drift with my partner NAE. Um, so I guess that was kind of the biggest opportunity that I applied for and I kind of took, and traveled out there, and that was my biggest mural at the time too. So it was a lot came from that one experience.
It's always reassuring too, I think, to know when, because you were saying that that definitely came from another a festival that you had been part of,
Yeah,
the Nelson event. And, just to know that the things that you're doing are leading to something else. And sometimes it takes a little bit of time to see the result of it.
yeah, yeah.
But to be able to say, I did this, and then sometime later, this came from that, is, I think, reassuring, because it just shows us, like, keep putting yourself out there, because things
E-
can come from that.
Exactly. Exactly. And especially with artwork, right? Especially murals. Murals are like billboards. So if I can get one of my murals up in another part of the country, you're exposing yourself to another community, another completely, municipality, city, whatever. Like a lot of different eyes are on your work. If you stay in one place, um, you're just limiting. I know we have social media and stuff, but with the algorithm working against us most of the time and all that stuff, I think, yeah, traveling is a huge part of making it work.
Mm. Is there a donut that you're taking right now? Is there, what's currently in progress for you?
I guess, well, we're always kind of striving to get bigger projects. So we're always kind of, sticking our neck out in a way, and trying to push ourselves to get bigger projects and in different places, new places. But I guess right now I'm trying to organize an art residency, or go to a residency in Mexico City, with a couple friends of mine that I met last year. So we're trying to work on that, and I'm pretty excited about that.
That sounds like an awesome adventure for you. So there may be people who are listening to this who have a donut of their own that they want to take. Maybe it's still an idea for them.
Mhm.
Maybe they've started on the path and they're just looking for that next step. Let's sprinkle some encouragement here. And what would you say to those people?
Um, find out what path you want to take. And if you are, depend if we're talking about artists, or if we're just talking about, being motivated in general, and kind of, yeah, taking your donut, taking your opportunity. I think find what it is you want to do or want to pursue, and then just don't kind of sway from that one thing. Stay with that and do it for a long time. I think, like I said, putting time towards everything, like I was able to become a full-time artist when I quit my job, right? It wasn't I became a full-time artist and then I was able to quit my job because I had enough money or something. It was very much like, hey, dive into the deep end and like hope you swim. But I think like taking that chance is huge, but I was able to commit my time. And I think whatever it is you're doing, if you're an athlete or whatever, like, committing your time to it is everything, because practice makes perfect and all those old sayings. But yeah, that's what I would say. I think that's the most important thing, and just be passionate.
Well said. For those who want to follow you on your journey, where can we find you?
You can follow me at DRIFT Mural Co on Instagram, or at Dom Lasol, and or at domlaporte.com or driftmurals.com.
Okay, so everybody check out those resources. I'll put those links into the description to make it a little easier for everybody to find those. So check out those resources, everyone. And if you liked watching this video, be sure to like and subscribe, because there are plenty more inspirational interviews still to come. But in the meantime, Dom, thank you so much for taking a little time for talking about taking the donut and what going after goals has looked like in your world.
Awesome. Thank you so much. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. And to everybody who is listening to this and watching this, please go out there, get inspiration, get donuts. Bye, everyone.